I kindly invite the speakers to join the stage. We have a lot of light on us. Please. Whatever. Yeah, the speakers. You are Teresa, right? Yes, I'm Teresa. Okay, let's see this. Bertrand is online. Maria Chiara, no, Vittoria is here. George was here. George.
Maria Caldero.
Maria is here. Simos Maramis is here. And Teresa Oltra is here. Okay. So.
Yes, please, don't be shy. Join us. Because we also have to have a gender-balanced panel on the opposite.
Yeah, the previous
on
one
the
was only
opposite.
men, this is only women, so... Simo. Yeah. So first of all, welcome to this session. It is the session 2 about European Mediterranean danger-based digital and cyber-physical initiative and projects to innovate water management. My name is Francesco Fatone, and I am coordinating the water area in the scientific committee of Ecomondo. Nice to see all people that we met in other meetings. The previous session was mainly focusing on solutions by companies, industries, technology providers, both from a commercial point of view, from a market point of view. This session is very glad to have coordinators of different projects, and we will have also the presentation from Bertrand Vallet, he will be online, about how the research and innovation projects are supporting the European water resilience strategy. In the panel we will have projects that are within the mission framework, within the LIFE program, within the circular cities and regions. And all of these are building the water framework that is hopefully supporting the water research and innovation program even within the new strategy. So I will be pleased to co-chair this session together with Claudia Topali, that is representing Water Europe. She's part of the board. In 15 minutes, I don't know if Bertrand is ready, because if he's ready, he can start this. And then I will leave the floor to Claudia to moderate this panel. For all speakers, you will have from 10 to 15 minutes. We are quite flexible. The shorter is the presentation, the more are the questions, but this doesn't mean that you will take all the time to avoid questions, okay? And of course, we will have also waterfall presentation about the program that is funding projects and activities. I'm going to check if Bertrand is available. Just 1 second. And I leave the floor to Claudia.
So while Francesco is away, I will just introduce the first speaker, which is going to be Bertrand Vallet. He's joining us from online. He's working for DG RTD in the European Commission, and it is the person to be and to meet if you're working on European water-related projects. So Francesco, is Bertrand available? 15 minutes. Okay, so thank you. And with that, I would then introduce the first project. which is Water for All, an alignment and impact assessment. For us is Victoria Laterza from ISPRA. Thank you, Victoria. And as Francesco mentioned, it's 10 to 12 minutes. Leave us some time to ask you questions because I know we have some. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vittoria Laterza. I'm a new researcher at ISPRA. And where is the... yeah. Thank you.
You want to stand up?
Okay, yeah, because... Yep. Thank you. Sorry. I will introduce Water for All partnership and its strategic research innovation agenda and local calls, and then I will give you some details on the activities on alignment and impact assessment that ISPRA and the University Politecnica delle Marche are carrying out. Water for All partnership is a research and innovation partnership under the Horizon Europe framework. It aims to focus and support water research innovation and the funding landscape at European level and beyond. The partnership brings together around 19 partners from 33 countries. Its consortium includes research ministry, funding agency, regional networks, local authorities, EU networks, research performing organization. Launched in June 2022, Water for All is an open years program, is a 10 years program with a total expected budget of 300 million euro from the European Commission and Member States. The program is implemented in 3 phases, and we are currently in the second one. Water for All promote an holistic approach to water research and innovation. As water is connected with many other sectors. The partnership is structured around 5 action pillars, which together define the activities of the partnership. The pillar A focuses on developing shared vision and the strategic research and innovation agenda. That is the strategic document identify research and research priorities and serve as the basis for the transnational calls implemented under Pillar B. Pillar C, co-lead by ISPRA and Formas, aims to bridge science, policy and end user through activities such as knowledge hubs. Pillar D, led by Water Europe, is dedicated to innovation, demonstration, and application of solutions through the concept of water-oriented living labs. And then finally, Pillar E focuses on international cooperation. Through this coordinated action, Water for All aims to deliver sound knowledge, tools and evidence, improve consideration of water impact in all relevant policies, enhance the field market use of innovative solutions to water challenges, increase citizens' awareness and engagement for an inclusive water management. The SRIA of Water for All is structured on 7 key teams and 25 sub-teams. Is under revision now after a large stakeholder consultation process. The update version of the SRIA is expected to be published in April 2026. As I mentioned, the partnership has planned 6 annual joint transnational calls and demo calls. Now we are in the 4th calls, water and health, and the submission deadline proposal is on mid of November. Water for All is committed to supporting the three main goals of European water resilience strategy through initiatives like the call on water and the circular economy and water and health. The position paper developed is online on the website of Water for All. Within the pillar A, one of the strategic activities is monitoring and assessment of alignment objectives led by ISPRA and l'Università Politecnica delle Marche. The scope of these activities is aligned funding programs, research and application of innovation. Results of the alignment activities will be useful to contribute to the content and priorities of the forthcoming funding program. We started to define what is alignment for Water for All. That is a strategic systemic approach to coordinating and integrating regional, national, and international research and innovation agendas, as well as an harmonization administrative process such as implementation, evaluation, and monitoring. And then we are designed a set of action and tools to test this concept in 4 pilot countries: Italy, Spain, France, and Portugal. The alignment is defined on the ERA-Learn framework. Our current work includes the mapping of water-related innovation programs within Smart Specialization Strategy, national and regional, national recovery and resilience plans, national and bottom-up research program, starting with Italy. The results of these mapping activities will be compared to the water research and innovation priorities listed in Water for All SRIA to identify gaps, overlaps, and opportunities for stronger coordination. We are planning to analyze through the systematic lecture research a portfolio water JPI EU-funded project and to analyze the impact assessment of water JPI EU-funded project. Within this activity, we organize a workshop held in Rome at ISPRA premises, bring together funding agency, academia, basin authorities, utility member of European Commission, by Portugal, Spain, Italy, and France. And the aim of this workshop was to gather the view, input, and feedback of stakeholders on the contents of the alignment defined by the Water for All partnership. All the results, the proceeding of the workshop are available on the deliverable progressing towards alignment aims and objectives. The workshop has been a good echo on social media too. Within these activities, we are carrying out a systematic literature research analysis for alignment assessment of Water JPI EU-funded project. Water JPI was the previous program on water, key foundation for Water for All. The aim of this review is to assess how well this project aligned with the Water JPI SRIA. Here is what 4 code categories: research stream, methodology, results, and stakeholders that we are analyzed and compare with the SRIA, 2 versions of SRIA of Water JPI. Here is an example of these activities. The graphics show that sustainable water resources is the most represented team around the 5 teams of the SRIA. And the topic is on strong focus on pollution and hydroclimatic events. In addition of activities is an impact assessment will be conducted on more than 100 EU-funded water research and innovation projects covering the Water for All portfolio and the first and second call of Water for All. This assessment is framed within the European Water Resilience Strategy and aims to understand how this project have contributed to European policy challenges and real-world application, from innovation product to policy-oriented solution inspired by the methodology outlined in the European Commission report. The first phase is focused on the analysis of water JPI project, has already begun through a systematic literature review based on their final technical report, and then in a second stage, project will be grouped according to the main challenges and key issues they address. Each cluster will then be summarized to highlight its scientific contribution, market potential, and barriers to impact. Here is an preliminary impact assessment. This graph show the distribution of the readiness level across the analysis, the analyzed project. We focus not only on the technical maturity, but extending the assessment to other dimensions. We have observed that most projects reached lab or early pilot validation. A few achieved TRL major than 4, thanks to demonstration activities and utilities, but only a subset used to a co-creation or living lab approaches. Most projects achieved strong coordination within consortia, but few established formal application plans of institutional agreement. Very few projects had direct regulatory uptake. Many deliver policy briefs or recommendations, but limited formal adaptation into directives or standards. The next step that will be developed is it's a plan to hold alignment national works in Spain, French, and Portugal. Deliverable assessing progress towards alignment in member states and associated country is currently being prepared with a deadline of June 2026. The impact assessment of project will continue, and in the phase 3 of the partnership, the alignment, I'm finished. The alignment methodology will be extended to a large number of European countries and new stakeholders such as water utility and farmer. Thank you.
Thank you, and sorry for being impatient. I would like to see if there is any question from the audience. Yes, there is one. I'm sure it's difficult.
Thank you very much, Vittoria, for this presentation. I'm wondering how Water for All is going to be in line with the new water resilience strategy. I mean, the resilience strategy just started. Water for All has a different time scale. Okay, so how will be the relation between Water for All and the resilience strategy? How are you going to inform the resilience strategy and to receive feedback from them? Because this will be very important. I mean, there are flagship actions already fixed, and Water for All as a program. So now it's time to fine-tune something. So there will be a third stage you mentioned.
There is a position paper online where the partnership are explaining the activity that we are developed to support the water resilience strategy. So, for example, with Knowledge Hub, to share the knowledge between researcher and to develop the application, and with the call and the other call that we are planning to launch for the next years.
To add to this, as it was mentioned, Water for All is implemented in stages, and each time there is a negotiation in the consortium on what activities to do, on more or less, etc. So once, and there's another stage, stage 3, so there is possibility to change things and retrofit tasks within the pillars to address issues that arise.
Thank you. I think Bertrand is online already, or?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good.
Oh, we can see you as well.
Oh,
Salut,
my
Bertrand.
God. I'm
Hello.
very big on this screen. Okay, I will disappear in 2 minutes once I shared my screen. Let me see that.
I tried.
Do you see it on
Not
full screen
yet.
mode?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, now it is. Okay, thank you very much for the invitation to speak. I wanted to present a work that we are conducting now, so in parallel with the water resilience strategy, the EU water resilience strategy. We have some activities in DG RTD. So yeah, I'm Bertrand Vallet. I'm a policy officer for the DG, sorry, it went too fast. In the unit Ocean, Seas and Waters. And we are responsible for the water-related, the water resilience research and innovation strategy. So in the context of this work, we run a project looking at the research and innovation solutions that have been funded under Horizon 2020. And we wanted to start from what is already existing. So the objective of this project was to look at the solutions that are already available through the funded project. We highlighted our project on the already developed solutions. So it's the finished project financed under Horizon 2020 and the first wave of projects from Horizon Europe, not to be too exhaustive. So what we did is that in 2022 we published a portfolio of projects related to water funded under Horizon 2020. So we had a first assessment of around half of these projects that have been done by our agency, research executive agency that manage these projects. And they, with a booster, so it's a type of contract, we identify one fish per project with the results that they delivered. And for the other 100 projects, where REA was not managing the project, we had expert assessments where the experts designed fish per project, and they related to the water resilience strategy objective. So in the water resilience strategy, you have 3 objectives. The first one is restore and protect the water cycle. The second one is related to building a water smart economy. And the third one is ensuring clean and affordable water for all. And so we used this project from Horizon 2020. We used a bit of the project that have been funded in the first round of Horizon Europe. And we asked rapporteurs to do the analysis of the fishes and to be able to identify the key solutions that were associated to this project. And for each, let's say, each project can cover multiple objectives. The drawback of the study, if there is one, is that we cannot force the rapporteur to analyze all the fish. So one project was associated with one objective. If they covered 3, we will have a post-analysis to identify these projects, not deeply analyze the solutions, but still it's a first attempt to evaluate this. So this project ended up in 3 reports, 1 per objectives. They are under finalization. We hope to be able to publish them at the beginning of December. There is, so as I said, there is 1 rapporteur, 1 per objective. And I will present you a bit what is in these reports, what you can find in these reports when they will be published. So for the first objective, the rapporteur, Enrique Playen, he had to look at 76 projects that is for a total budget of 388 million euros. He divided the project in 6 objectives. 6 challenges, let's say. The first one is at the bottom of the schemes. You can see on the slide. So it's improving the knowledge of the water cycle, and then in order to reach the objective, we also need some tools to have a better management of the water cycle. So this is the one on the bubble on the left of the schemes, and it addressed different aspects. So agriculture, cities and industries, extreme events. The overall objective is to restore and protect the aquatic ecosystems. So here you have a table. It's a very heavy table, but you will be able to find this in the report. You have all the projects that have been analyzed, and the challenges, they are on the left column. And there is associated issues. So you have, for example, in the tool for water management, you can see water management tools, but also climate and water tools, tools related to the water, energy, food, and ecosystem nexus. For restoring and protecting aquatic ecosystem, you have the inland waters, you have the management of inland water, restoration, the pollution in inland, and you have the same analysis related to coastal with specific pollutions, because we had more plastic issues at the time of Horizon 2020 to address. So these are the different challenges. We also have the aspect of water in agriculture, and also how you deal with nature inside and the water cycle inside cities. So these are the key, let's say, projects that have been associated to these objectives. And here we go to the, let's say, the solutions that have been identified in the project. You see all the projects with their own, let's say, images or the acronyms of the projects. And so if we look at which solution have been done for restoration, we look at storing, purify, and manage the release of water from the water cycle. We have a series that use mainly Earth observation to look at overexploitation, mismanagement, climate change effects, that are affecting the water supply. Also the aspect of enhancing the retention by ecosystem and protecting the biodiversity with the source to sea approach. Some specificities for farming practices, certain projects looking at this specifically. We have handling the runoff mainly through nature-based solutions to increase the sponge cities effect, so how to recharge the soil, and also a research project looking more at what's happening in the coastal area. with a series also of projects that are looking at pollution, so both on plastics or nutrients, depending on what you are looking at. All in all, the report proposed some solution, a span of solutions, going from TRL, so technological readiness level, from 3 to 9. So it's a large span with 20% at each extreme. So it's covering a large amount of solutions. Some will need to be pushed forward in order to be really hands-on solutions. For the rest, we need also to look at barriers that can be eliminated so that there is an uptake of these solutions when they are at a developed level. If we go to the objective, the second objective, where the rapporteur was Francesco Fatone, who is in the room for what I saw, we analyzed 93 projects from Horizon 2020, and 4 from Horizon Europe for a budget of 500 million euros. And these address different issues related to developing a market. So we have the aspect of the data-driven planning. So this is very smart solutions with a trans-sectoral approach. We look at projects that are working on the water efficiency and how we can improve the infrastructures and the use of water. We had a project looking at how we can improve the water reuse practices, mainly in the agricultural sector, but also industry and in urban areas. Valorize the resources that have been recovered. We had a lot of projects in Horizon 2020 looking at circular economy, and also some transversal aspects, international cooperation, and promoting emerging technologies. So this is very much market-oriented, so this fits with the water smart economy. Again, some solutions that goes to Earth observation-based forecasting tools, circular and reuse pilots for different industries, looking at digital metering and how to improve the networks, precision irrigation for farming, also how you can recover resources from various activities like desalination, looking at different business model for circularity with the bio-based fertilizer and reuse of material from wastewater. We also had new technologies like membrane biopolymers, electrochemical systems, and also, because it was mentioned also in the water resilience strategy, some dry cooling related projects. And finally, we also have issues with governance and integration of the innovative solutions. So some projects dedicated some times and money on these aspects. So as it was said already, there are flagship actions in the water resilience strategy. So in this project, it was specifically mentioned different solutions and different projects associated to these flagship actions. For the objective 3 that was done by Dominique Darmandrel, we looked at ensuring safe drinking water and sanitation. 57 projects that were covered for a budget of 312 million euros and covered by different topics, so water management and governance, water monitoring, safe and clean drinking water, safe sanitation, water in cities, and also pollutants. And the overall objective is obviously ensuring clean and affordable water for all and at all times. So there is this security of the infrastructure aspect that are covered also. So again, another table with the different projects. We looked at water management and governance, looking at on the global aspects, but also the Nexus approach, again, agriculture. So you see that the objective and the project are covering really all the objectives, and it was quite difficult to assess or to allocate one project to a topic, but it's still the major outcome of the project that relates to this objective. So Earth observation that is again used, analysis of the monitoring of the water quality, disinfection, desalination, different technologies that have been analyzed, also related to the efficiency of these technologies. Looking at the resilience of infrastructure for drinking water, looking at a specific requirement for India and Africa, also both on drinking water and sanitation, and obviously a large aspect also to digitalization of water systems and the development of solutions. We also look at specific pollution. Here in this objective, it's more related to indeed the quality of the water for drinking water purposes and health issues. So we had the persistent pollutant, we had a specific project looking at groundwater, we have the assessment of the pathogens, and the litter that will also remain a source of pollution for the future. In this objective, we looked also to, again, lots of solutions available, but also a lot of engagement from stakeholders. Because of the drinking water and the sanitation aspects, there is a lot of stakeholder engagements that have been promoted. The project are addressing a lot of different local situations, so a different quality of water, different technologies that are available. There are some projects that have this international dimension that is also relayed in the water resilience strategy. Not only, let's say, scientific results, but also methodologies, policy recommendation that went out from this project, especially on how to implement a good principle for drinking water and wastewater implementation, and also the public participation that have been identified as a key element for the uptake of the solutions. But we also have barriers, so lots of barriers, regulatory, governance, economic barriers that are hindering the uptake of the solutions. The social readiness level that is very not much uptaken by the project, and we need to work on this. Especially for a product like water that is a public good, and that's the aspect of public good governance. We look at missing thematics like the access to water and sanitation in certain specific area, like islands or very far, like very scarce resources, where some work can be done, especially on the governance and the access to this infrastructure. And then also the scalability of innovation. So to conclude, I would say that the portfolio analyses have been done. We have the reports that are ready to be or on the point to be published. We hope it will be helpful for various stakeholders. We try to have the attention also from different way of communication through the member states, so that they can find this solution to be implemented. It is also for us the basis for the development of the water resilience research and innovation strategy that needs to be published by the end of 2026. We will have for this work some stakeholder consultations, so we hope that everybody will be able to participate, and that we can include in having a thorough strategy developed to develop the next solution for the decades to come. And with this, I'm happy to answer questions if there are, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bertrand. Is there any question from the audience? Then I can say that it was really, it's an impressive work that the Commission together with the stakeholders have been done over the years. It's really beautiful, this. Bertrand, you were quite clear in your presentation and also in the conclusions while sharing, the conclusion cons and also a little bit the way forward. So I have very simple questions. The first one, the typical question asked to a policy officer: when is coming the stakeholder consultation?
So there will be no stakeholder consultation. There will be a call for evidence, like for the water resilience strategy. So we are working on developing it. We hope to be ready by mid-December. As we know, there is the Christmas holidays, so we will hope to close the consultation by the end of January, because we have as an objective to have a draft strategy to be presented at the Ocean and Waters Forum, the Mission Ocean and Waters Forum, which is in beginning of March, so the 3-4th of March. So this is the target date, and we are working on this, but you will be all informed when the call for evidence will be published.
Thank you. That is quite ambitious, and we are looking forward to that. Now I have a second question. Since my audience is being shy, it's only because they see you so big, on the screen, and it's kind of impressive. You presented again the cons in the conclusions and also a little bit again the way forward. And now, if you were a stakeholder, what you would say we can do best, or we can, learn from all the past and take forward in the future, and how can we help as stakeholders? How can we help you achieve that?
So I think the main interest of this report is really to identify the solutions. What needs to be put forward is to set up projects to see how you can get some case studies where you can highlight indeed the innovative solution and demonstrate that they work in different, let's say, different environment, different climate conditions. For this, there is also tools that exist, and Water for All is one of them. I think there are living labs that can be used, and you can approach them in order to test your solutions. So it's really, I think for the solutions that are ready for the market, it's really put the effort on the deployment and use the tools that are available at European level. We also have, we will have an Innovation Act that will come later this year. We have the Startup and Scale-up strategy that can help also the dedicated funding to help the solutions to go on the market. So it's using the tools that we put on the table so that we can deliver this option. And for the solutions that still need development, well, we will have cycle of funding that will come. We have a work program in 26 and 27 that will look at these aspect of infrastructure and water resilience. So we encourage you to be creative and to propose project in this call, obviously. Maybe so the kick water is also coming. We don't know yet the results of the evaluation. We are expecting this. This is a community, so this community needs to grow and needs to focus on the needs of the stakeholders. So it's also participating in these kind of initiatives that are here to help.
Thank you so much, Bertrand. Last but not least, policy angle. So how can we make sure? What can we do more so that these great solutions and proposals are taken into consideration in the policy-making process?
So For this, we have already worked with our colleague in ENV, and we try to streamline these solutions with a consultation. So there is different groups associated to the different directives. We try to streamline in the program some feedback from research and innovation solutions so that let's say the member states are aware of the solutions, they can share this. Hopefully this will also help member states to go and to support this. We can encourage you to go to the ministries of the different member states and to show your solution also. These are solutions to implement different things. If we can think about the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive, for example. It has been released, and it's the new version have lots of new components that are based on the results of research and innovation. So it's a good example, but there are still a lot of things to do. There are secondary legislation, so some guidance, some let's say, directions to give to certain analysis, for instance, for the management of rainwater. And we see lots of projects that have solutions for this. So the stakeholders that participated to this project, we can help, of course, but it's better if it also comes from the member states. So go to see your ministries, present your solutions, so it can also become a standard in the way of implementing the policy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bertrand, for that. And thank you for your patience. We had to take advantage of your presence, even virtual here.
Very welcome.
So thank you. With that, I've been quite not a good time manager. I apologize to everyone for that. It was worth, though. And now I will give the word to George Arampatsis, which is a project coordinator of CSS Boost for water smart circular regions and cities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there this? Can change the slides? So thank you very much. Thank you, and I would like to thank you for the invitation, for being part of this discussion. I'm just looking at the session title here, and I look some keywords where I should base my presentation. It's about natural-based solutions, digital and cyber-physical initiatives. Also, it mentioned about impacts from European Union projects, and of course about the coordinators of European projects. And starting from that, I'm George Arampatsis. I'm a professor at the Technical University of Crete in Greece, and I'm the coordinator of this CSS Boost project. CSS Boost project is also an Horizon project, but on the contrary of Water for All, it's an innovation action project. That means it's based mainly on demonstrations. So I'm going to present my experience, this experience regarding this project. So starting from some, the first one from where we started from, what are the main reasons. We all know that water is one of the main sectors and, of course, a resource that is in focus of the European Union, together with energy and transportation, and has a lot of impacts in many areas, and like food security, industrial capacity, climate adaptation. And central to that is what already mentioned in this panel, the newly adopted by the European Union water strategy resilience. So I'm going also to connect all the impacts from the CSS Boost regarding this initiative, this water resilience strategy. Going back, and one central part of this strategy, the water resilience strategy, is circularity. And for example, we just noticed to just put some sentences from this strategy there that say for in a water smart economy, it's mentioned specifically there that water and resource loops are largely closed to foster a circular economy. And also mentioned that circularity becomes a norm. And this is a paradigm shift based on many enablers. 5 of them are mentioned there and mentioned in the water resilience strategy. Is robust governance, it's having finance and investment tools, and very important, what is central to the thesis which I'm going to present is the digitalization of the artificial intelligence, which is now very hot, and also research and innovation. This is some facts regarding the CSS Boost, as you see there. As I mentioned before, it's an innovation action project, demonstration project, involving 21 partners from, I don't remember, 7 countries, if I remember well. It's a 3.5 years project. We are just after the first year of the implementation, meaning that we are at the beginning. We don't have still concrete results. Hopefully next year we'll present some more specific results, but now more or less I'm going to present about the strategic objectives and what we're going to achieve through this project. And it's also about 12 million funding project. So let's start from CSS Boost and some very critical concepts, very central concept to that. One is this CSS. CSS comes from circular systemic solution, and it's the central concept around an initiative that has been established some years ago under the circular SAP in 2020. It is the CCRI, the Initiative of Circular Cities and Regions. CSS means Circular Systemic Solutions, and the main concept and the main idea behind that is circular systemic solutions are circular solutions that combines different actors, different value chains, different products, different governance schemes. What is central that is that the main problem with the slow adoption of the circular economy business models is that they usually take place in a micro level. Usually when we say about circularity, this is easy to be done in a level of firm or in an industry, for example. But doing that, we lose a lot of things, because if we're going to have real outcomes, real value from circularity, then we have to combine actors, to combine products, even to combine value chains where they have synergies or even trade-offs. This is the main idea of the CSS, the Circular Systemic Solutions. And the central place for doing that is a regional level, or maybe a city level. And also, in the same slide, I mentioned 3 different pillars of these innovations, where there are many gaps. It's around this triple transition concept that is central to the European Union now. The digital, green, and social. These are the 3 pillars where we need to invest, we need to go through that, but there are gaps to cover through that. I'm moving forward. The CSS Boost project, the main outcomes from this project is, first of all, an application framework, a framework where all the CSS, the circular systemic solutions under which will be developed. But the main idea is what we call the CSS Booster. And the CSS Booster, in line with what I mentioned before, with the title of this session, is a cyber-physical system where all these systemic solutions take place, established, expanded, operates, etc. We also have, using this cyber-physical system, an integrated solution is created, an integrated solution where combines case-specific innovation, but also horizontal innovation. Regarding this CSS Booster, the cyber-physical system I mentioned before, it's not an easy thing. It's something complex because, first of all, it combines the physical system. Usually when we say cyber-physical system, in our mind comes only the digital part. It's something about digitalization. Not only that. The cyber-physical system has always a physical system. And here, for the CSS, this is a complex ecosystem, and we call it CSS ecosystem and market, where it involves the circular economy market, where the solution involves, including resources, stakeholders, actors there. Also the internal environment of this market, with the different conditions, regulations, even climate conditions, climate, etc., but also the external environment, meaning extra-regional circular economy market where there are interfaces with the internal conditions. This is the complex ecosystem where is the physical aspect of the cyber-physical system of the CSS booster, where we want to innovate. And the digital part has, of course, many ideas regarding digital twinning, virtualization of this ecosystem using digital twins, etc., and also providing many services during the life cycle of circular systemic solutions based on the digitalization, based on the digital twins, and many of them based on recently advances in artificial intelligence. And this is provided to the end users under an information and sharing digital platform that we mentioned before. What's important is that this cyber-physical system, the CSS Boost, it's not only an environment where different CSS, different systemic solutions are established. So at the end, we don't, the outcome from CSS Boost is not just a new list, a new portfolio of circular systemic solutions. We also have a central system where this solution or other solutions could be replicated around Europe by providing exactly this system, these circular systemic solutions, and also following the three pillars of the triple transition I mentioned before. So we have circular value chains, we have the digital platform, and what is very important, we have this social innovation approach, social innovation actions. I forgot to mention that the social aspect is very important. It's very connected to the other two directions, I mean the digital and the physical and the green, because if we want to succeed something, we have to be accepted by the social, by the public. And sometimes it's not very easy, and very easy that, okay, always when we go greener, when we go more digital, we have in our mind the social, the public. But sometimes it's controversial because sometimes you have, for example, the artificial intelligence, you all know that probably face problems with the jobs, etc. The same goes with the green transition. So you have, apart from synergies that advances more, we have trade-offs to come with. Regarding the water resilience strategy, the main impact, the main objective that we target is that this accelerating the digitalization and artificial intelligence. This is what I mentioned. Just to mention also that CSS Boost is not about water, but water is central to this discussion. But I want to correct it, it's not only about water, because water is one of the central case studies or a pilot we have there. We have also other 4 pilots regarding the agricultural and livestock processing, plastic and bioplastics, transportation systems, and also we have an interregional systemic solution that combines all these systemic solutions. But regarding the water, the main, which is one of the main pilots we have here, it's here in Italy, and responsibly it's the University of Marche, and the principal investigator is my good friend Francesco, who is looking at his phone now. He's there in he's in the area of Marche. So and addresses, as you see, many regional challenges. Probably Francesco or Alessia is also very central to CSS Boost, could explain better than me the situation. Many challenges because it's in an area, I don't remember exactly, Santina, no, it's Benedetto de Trodo, very urban area. All right, thank you very much. I will never remember that. It's an arid area, it's a water-stressed area, so it's important to do something there. And also there is a natural reserve, the Santina Natural Reserve, which is very important for the local ecosystem and the agriculture especially. So it faces many problems there. And CSS Boost goes through, remember that any CSS combines different value chains. There are 2 value chains here. One is about water recovery and reuse for the ecosystem, etc. And the second one is natural recovery and sustainable bioeconomy through the sludge of the water waste treatment plant there or other sources there. And finishing with this slide, unfortunately I don't go more, where it shows the different technological innovation that we have in CSS Boost and the specific circular systemic solution in Marke, the natural-based solutions, the constructed wetlands, the nutrient recovery from sludge, and also the virtualization through digital twinning. What are the impacts, as you see there? For example, for the construction wetlands, we have a new source, a resilient water source, mitigating drought and other areas. For the nutrient recovery, we have also transformed waste into valuable byproducts, closing the loop. It's the main circularity example there. And the visualization, of course, we have many data-driven and artificially intelligent AI-driven services to different areas. And in this slide also you have the connection of all these technologies and the impacts to the European Resilience Strategy objectives. The first one is it's related very much to the restoring and protection of the water cycle, the second of the building a water smart economy, and the third one to accelerating digitalization and artificial intelligence. This is all from my part. I hope I was not too late or too much more. You see some facts here, and you can visit CSS Boost. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, yes?
I'll take this one to ask if there is any question from the audience.
Yeah,
Here.
Francesco was looking at the phone and asking and preparing the question, yeah.
George, it's me.
Yes, it was.
Yes, so congratulations for the work and the project. You talk a lot about the digital solutions and that this thing about moving from the micro level to the micro, to the bigger level, regional level. And this means that you're developing several digital solutions to work on this aspect. But these need also then to be used by the end users and possibly the decision makers. How will that work out? Isn't this complicating things? And the second comment, maybe more, is maybe you could also capitalize from Water Europe's marketplace that they have already developed. Is very good within next gen, and maybe a suggestion for your project.
Not only that, because we also already capitalized the same platform in another project that finished recently with Water Europe participation, Aquaspice, that I was the technical coordinator of that project, and we also plan to capitalize it because we also built something similar, a technology evidence base or whatever it is here. So I'm going to capitalize, of course, the Water Europe marketplace. Going back to the first question about the digitalization and the barriers and the problems, the biggest barrier, the biggest problem we have is exactly what the CCRI started from. It's to break the silos between the different actors and the different sectors and make them to communicate. For example, if you want to build a complete regional level, macro level, digital system, so we need data from different actors, from industrial actors, from anybody. That's the most difficult part in order to convince them to be part of the solution. And can convince them only when they are sure that we'll have something to gain when they are part of this. After that, okay, if we can connect all the pieces, the digital can be targeted all actors and also in all stages, life stages of the circular systemic solutions.
Thank you so much. I think with that, Simos, you are co-chairing actually. Would you like to introduce the next speaker?
As long as it's not me, eh? Okay. So next speaker is Maria Caldero from Spain, Beta Group, and she will give a speech on innovative solutions to prevent, reduce, and remediate nutrient pollution along the land, river, sea system in the Mediterranean basin. Maria is the project coordinator of a secure project.
Thank you so. Hi. Yeah. Thank you so much, Simon, for this introduction. Can you hear me? Yeah, a little bit. I hope you had, thanks for the invitation as well. I hope you had time to grasp some coffee. We are not that many, but I really looking forward to know how we can further engage with you as well as audience. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am project coordinator at the Governance for Sustainability Department at Beta Technological Center. We are located in big Catalonia, Spain. And today I will share insights from Secure Horizon Europe project. It's under the mission Ocean and Soils. And we are working from 2024 to 2028, so still a long a long race to run, but really looking forward for it. For sure, I don't know why some colors change it, but hope it's fine. For sure, all of you know about this, but it's always to have the bigger picture. Although the Mediterranean covers less than 1% of the world's ocean surface, it receives about 20% of the global marine nutrient inputs, making it one of the most eutrophication-sensitive areas in the world. And this image shows chlorophyll concentrations. So the redder the color, the higher the nutrient pressure. And as you also know about it, the main causes are agricultural wastewater discharges, aquaculture, and industrial pollution. And nutrient loads also follow these agricultural land use patterns, meaning that we have to work across the land-river-sea continuum, not only focusing on the coastal areas, if that makes sense. So, wow, this has been very distortion, but what is broken? Here I wanted to say, like, in a pessimistic perspective, we could prove that everything is broken. In an optimistic perspective, we could say and also provide evidence that we are doing better than years ago and improving the situation. In a realistic perspective, I would like to highlight the complexity of the policy coherence. And let me also change my notes. Also talking about silos, we all have to admit that because we are human beings, we work in thematic silos because we cannot know and control everything. And despite having shared environmental goals, sometimes policy implementation and incentives does not go in the same direction. And this makes really impossible to build the territories, the sustainable territories that we want. For example, so this we really like this work. It's from a very Nordic-based initiative, but they even have a more complicated scenario in terms of eutrophication in the sea. So we have to learn from them as well. For example, also in Catalonia, but also in other regions, the Common Agricultural Pact incentives are maintaining still high nutrient loads in regions that are failing the Water Framework Directive objectives, and even different departments. So the Catalan Water Agency doesn't talk with or doesn't really coordinate with the Agriculture Department. Also, regulation is also focusing a lot on nitrogen instead of having an holistic or more stoichiometric approach also for other nutrients such as phosphorus. And also agreements on standardization is also hard and takes time. But I will stop complaining and blaming the others, and I will put my optimistic hat and try to show you what Secure is offering in these regards. Being an Horizon Europe project, thanks to the European Commission and DG RTD, Secure develops innovative ways to tackle this nutrient pollution across this land-river-sea continuum that we I keep talking about. We test 3 nutrient management strategies. Like in green color, you will see the prevention from agriculture and soil management. In orange, the reduction at the wastewater treatment level. And in blue, remediation in freshwater aquatic ecosystems. And we work in 6 demonstration regions in Spain, Italy, and Greece, coinciding with these high Mediterranean Sea eutrophication hotspots that we saw at the beginning, using this multi-actor and multi-level approach. In this context, we have 16 solutions being tested in the different demo sites. I will only rush over 3 of them, but you can contact us, and in fact, here in the audience and in the panel, we have really the experts of these solutions. I mentioned that besides these 16 solutions, we would like to emphasize the need to embed these solutions into the regional innovation ecosystems, and it has been also said. So we really need to listen to the regional stakeholders, know what they know from the territory they live, and also complement with innovative knowledge. So how Secure works with this approach? First, we map and codify this regional context. In this line of work, we are generating regional vision papers. For example, in Catalonia, when we did these local stakeholders consultations and workshops, we realized that we all agree that we need to reduce this nitrogen and phosphorus losses from agriculture, but it's really hard, and we are developing this multi-actor sustainable nutrient value chain governance structure to have this long-term coordination approach, because if not, it's impossible. And moving to the solutions, for example, at testing nutrient management strategies under the prevention pillar, my colleagues in Central Catalonia are formulating tailor-made fertilizers from recovering nutrients from organic and agro-industrial residues from especially pigs and cows. We have a lot in there, and adjusting this nutrient composition to the specific type of crops, soils, and managing conditions. Also, under the reduction pillar, here we have also our experts from Thessaly Plain. They are testing a combined system of unsaturated and saturated constructed wetlands with algae ponds in 9 wastewater treatment plants. And this is a nature-based low-energy solution that is improving organic matter and nutrient removal, and also produce alternative protein source from this algae, and then deliver high-quality reclaimed water to reuse, for example, in agriculture, on also safe discharge in the river. And under the remediate pillar, our Po River Delta colleagues, led by University of Ferrara, are working towards adopting more than 10,000 kilometers of channels with riparian merging vegetation. This is around 20% of the network of the lower Po basin, and this solution is also improving or showing great advances in nutrient retention, denitrification, also sediment trapping, habitat provision, and bank stabilization. In addition, our colleagues from CREAF are assessing the site's nutrient balance with Copernicus data as well, and also our SETEMA partner is evaluating these economic, social, and environmental impacts of the 16 solutions. And this information is also crucial to really support this positive impact evidence of the tested solutions, and then have this proof that what we are doing is sustainable and can be further replicated. And next year, we will launch a multi-criteria decision support tool for decision makers, and also have access to funding and capacity building for successful scale-up, and also related to how we can projects influence decision makers. We are also try to policy uptake through policy handbooks and joint policy papers, where we will try to inform back the European Commission and also regional stakeholders of these policy incoherencies. And also, regional awareness campaigns linked with citizen science programs is envisaged, and it's led by our partner CNR from Italy. And in Secure, we'll also soon launch an open call for 7 associated regions, offering 100,000 € each for technical assistance to build healthier this land-river-sea continuum. And moving to the impacts, it has also been asked a lot from Professor Fatone. As everything is interconnected on the ground, also strategies are trying to have this transversal approach. Our work supports, of course, the EU water resilience strategy, especially in restoring and protecting the water cycle, but also with this upscaling approach, we also try to complement this ensuring access to clean and affordable water for all action plans. Then I would like to highlight that it's super hard to find a good representation of groundwater, but I really like this drawing from the USGS, and also the concept that groundwater is the saturated zone of the soil below the land. So basically groundwater is also soil, if you want to make it. So I would like to highlight that the water and the soil strategies are super interconnected, and Secure is also focusing a lot on soil management practices. And We started talking about the sea, but I have barely discussed solutions directly implemented in the sea, because if nutrients arrive at the sea, we are too late, kind of. But Secure is also trying to support the objective of the Ocean Pact to avoid nutrification and hypoxic dead zones working upstream of the sea. So to sum up, we want to say that Secure is breaking the silos, tackling this land-river sea continuum and working on this prevention, reduction, and remediation innovation. I didn't want to forget the Pact for the Mediterranean to highlight the importance of the people united for this precious and shared resource that is the Mediterranean Sea. And I hope this links nicely, and I will sum up here, finalize here my presentation of the open call that I'm really sorry about the slides, but anyway, you will have the good ones. We will open a call in December this year to enhance new partnerships and collaborations and to provide financial support to third parties. You can also find information in a stand, it's in the Blue Mission Med stand in B6 under the Blue Economy sector. And this call is to empower regions. I don't know if the ones that you are here are regional public authorities from different countries, from Italy, Spain, and Greece, but it's to empower regions to replicate Secure's approach, basically. And as I said, it will open the 1st of December and close the 3rd of February. It will last for three months, and we will also have a webinar to explain the terms of references, and then the project implementation will last for 18 months. As I said, Secure partners countries, here represented in red, are not eligible, but other member states and third countries associated with Horizon Europe are super encouraged to apply. And I promise this is the last slide, just to state that this is a super teamwork, and only through, for example, here, through shared partners, shared stakeholders, we can already find a lot of cross-project synergies. And next year, we will also implement the clustering plan to strengthening our voice and try to do something together. And thank you so much for your attention, and hope to have answered some of your questions.
Thank you, Maria. Any questions from the audience? Francesco.
Of course.
Yes, we have people in the room that are working quite a lot on EU-funded programs. And we heard about circular cities and regions and mission, that is connecting from source to sea, okay? But, if we exchange the topic, I think, one can fit the other. So my question for both of you is, are you interacting with the mission projects? And for you, are you interacting with the circular cities and regions with what you are doing? Because the two seems to be very complementary and synergistic. Because I think it's important not to wait the assessment that Bertrand was presenting, so maybe in 10 years, but to do it now to synergize and valorize. And clustering is usually among the same call. In this case, it's different calls, different everything, but what do you think? It's the reason why we are here. We are not many, but maybe it's the right moment.
As task leader of the clustering plan, if you want to say that, it's a very good approach, and yes, for sure we took this into account, especially through consortiums. So for example, in our consortium we have ACR+, which is super engaged with the CCRI initiative, and we are also partners of CCS Boost as well. So even at consortium level, we try to not only map the same mission projects or initiatives, but also open a little bit the scope, and even through EU CAP network projects that are not directly funded through, I don't know, that would be my answer.
Thank you.
More or less the same for me. I mean, is it okay? So more or less the same for me. Yes, I do agree. We still didn't have something in common, I mean, as a project. But in terms of consortia, there are a lot of interaction, etc. But also, I think it's central to some agendas special to CCRI. The discussion we had with the CCRI coordination and support office during the last period, related also to some cluster events, is the main concept there, the main barriers to break the silos, not between partners, etc., but to break the silos between the sectors. So this is very important in this collaboration between projects, between other initiatives, etc. To combine, I mean, to combine solutions, etc., where different sectors, not only water, but water with, let's say, construction and demolition waste, for example, or whatever, plastics, etc., can combine there. And this is a strategic objective now of many, especially for CCRI, as far as I know. And I hope this will be central to the agenda to the next clustering events and cluster approaches.
If I may add to open discussion, and I also took notes, maybe if we want to also criticize the project's perspective, I would say also link with what the project officer said. I think what we are missing is the national level. At least from, like, we mobilize regional stakeholders. We are super aware that we have to apply for position papers or consultations in the European Commission. But maybe what we really miss and could learn more is to really target or try to commit or engage with the national member states. At the end, they are the ones also implementing the regulations. So just as a food for thought as well.
Good, very good point.
Thank you very much.
And there is a call for papers for those who want to cooperate. So there is a second round of chance there. Thank you for that. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce the next speaker, which is also co-chair of this session, Simos Malamis, that is coordinating the project called CARDIMED on climate adaptation and resilience. You have the floor.
Thank you, Claudia. I have the floor and I have the pointer also, so I can start. Before the project presentation, I would also like to invite you to see our new website. It's cell/ntua.gr, where all our the information regarding our researchers and our projects are. It's the sanitary engineering laboratory within the Department of Water Resource and Environmental Engineering. So CARDIMED is basically focusing in the Mediterranean area, and is actually fostering nature-based solution at the regional level. George was saying before about the importance of moving from a local level of an industry or a water utility to the regional level. And this is one of the main, let's say, aspirations of CARDIMED. So it's a very big project, more than 20 million. And we are covering 10 European regions in the Mediterranean, pretty much all the Mediterranean countries, from the very east, Portugal, from the very west, sorry, Portugal, to the very east, Turkey. And we're implementing many nature-based solutions. The project itself is based on 4 pillars that you can see here, the nature-based solutions, but also the digital solutions, the social innovation, how we link these pillars together, and of course the water ecosystems, food and energy nexus, and how all these links together. So here is a slide on the actual demonstration sites. We have 9 demonstration sites in 10 regions. We don't have time in like 10 minutes to showcase all the demos, so I've just made the selection. And the selection is basically on the water aspect, of course, but also on the local aspect, meaning Italy, since we are in Rimini. As you can see, we cover pretty much the whole North Mediterranean part. So, as it was requested, we need to reflect on the strategy, and the resilience strategy, and it's already been mentioned that we have the 3 objectives, and 5 basically action plans. I put this table blank, and I intend to have it completed by the end of the presentations with the demo cases. Selective, let's say, implementation of the solutions. Here we have Greece, and the focus is on the Aegean islands that are very water scarce with droughts and a very seasonal fluctuation. So here we're implementing a number of nature-based solutions in order to tackle the wastewater and valorize the wastewater, but also all other types of non-conventional water sources, mainly stormwater, rainwater. So we have 3, let's say, sub-demos. One is this. This is basically a circular wastewater treatment plant using constructed wetlands, mainly constructed wetlands, but other technologies also. It is basically treating the sewage of 500 people, a village, a remote village, and delivering Class A water, Class A reclaimed water that is suitable for unrestricted agricultural irrigation. Through a series of 2 years of analysis, we have also obtained the environmental technology verification for this type Class A water. Then we are also looking in rural residential areas to manage different types of water sources, namely the stormwater, but also the rainwater from the rooftops. We have done a lot of extensive analysis, and we are also looking into the rural floods through systems like bioswales in order to mitigate the agricultural floods. In Italy, we have the 2 islands of Sicily and Sardinia. Here in Sardinia, the demo is managed by Marche Polytechnic University and Professor Fatone. We have a number of agricultural practices and wastewater treatment practices in order to decarbonize the supply chain. And here you can see a flow chart of the area. In Alghero municipality, we have a wastewater treatment plant that is upgraded with tertiary and quaternary processes. We have constructed wetlands, we have aquaculture, we have crop rotation. All these are basically, most of them are nature-based solutions that we are integrating, so integrating basically the agricultural part with the water part. And then in Sicily, we have basically the rain garden that is going to be developed in the Tondogeni Square, that is basically one of the busiest ones in Catania municipality. This is actually done by the University of Catania together with Iridra and the municipality and the region. And on the bottom you see the design part. It's actually the tender is out and is going to be constructed in order to manage the floods aspects in Catania. And we also have a smaller scale a green wall in order to manage grey water in a village that has been developed in Sicily, in Ferla, where actually the students are actually involved in the whole process. And we have other areas outside Italy and Greece, in Marseille, for example, where we're developing nature-based solutions to protect floods and mitigate floods, and transforming the urban environment into microforests and unsealed soil in order this way to decrease the flood events. Works are also here in progress. To conclude the actual links with the water resilience strategy, on this table you see the actual some points from the strategy. Thanks to the guidelines of Francesco, I had to reread and remember the whole strategy. So I picked up some, it talks about prioritizing nature-based solutions, but also more important is the integration with the gray infrastructure. And this is what we're trying to do in Cardimed. We have already a gray environment and infrastructure, and we need to work hand in hand. It talks about the sponge facility. The case studies I show actually follow this concept. Indicators for water scarcity. Actually, in the project, we are developing a robust climate resilience indicator. The strategy talks about increasing safe water reuse. We're only on 2.5% at the European level, and go beyond agriculture, so beyond the regulation of EU. And actually, this is something we are seeing in with the nature-based solutions developed in Greece and Italy. Also, digitalization for stronger stakeholder engagement. We are actually developing quite novel tools, so augmented reality and other things that I don't understand very much, to be honest, George. But the important thing is how to support and how these are used by stakeholders. So we are building the social innovation part into the digital framework. The resilience strategy also talks about the European Water Academy, and the NBS should become their norm. An important thing I saw is that the Water Resilience Investment Accelerator will be established with 20 pilot cases, and there it talks about living labs. And maybe our living lab, our potential living lab in Lesbos that we want to, as part of Pillar D in the Water Forum to develop, could actually be supported through there. So we are still learning about the projects, and here are some of the lessons we've learned so far. The project is finished its second year, so we are basically concluding the construction works of the systems. We don't have much operation yet, but you can see here is NBS are not for everywhere. They're not solutions for everywhere. We need to have a common basis. We need to have a common basis for understanding different types of NBS. So we had to do a very big consolidated catalog of what is each NBS. We need to define how to monitor and what to monitor, and to have consistency across the different demonstration sites. This is very difficult to do. Many times the attitude of landowners is not helping activities in nature-based solutions, which are usually solutions that require quite some space. And what I learned is basically the last 2 points are very interesting, because you need to be patient when you're working with regions and municipalities, especially when you do public tenders. You have to be very patient, and it takes time. It takes much longer time than private initiatives. And the last point is quite interesting. Public NBS usually have high visibility, and this can be potentially perceived as a risk by contractors, because if it goes wrong, the impact is big. So this is a slide showing the key water legislation, the Water Framework Directive, the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive, the Flush Directives, and you can see here the list of the NBS solutions that we are tackling within the project are actually supporting the legislation. And actually the water resilience strategy is there to support the existing legislation and to support this kind of solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simos. That was really very interesting, and I think it was the same for everyone. I'm sorry, is there any question from the audience? I can ask a question if there is. There was one part on the MBS that it's quite part of the debate in the Brussels bubble. So there is one area which says there is nature-based solutions already there, take them, use them with no risk. And you are mentioning that there is some risk. Would you like to elaborate more on that?
Yes, sure. First of all, let me tell you that I started as a water engineer 20 years ago, and I didn't work with nature-based solutions. I've been working the last 10 years. So I have also worked a lot on the gray, let's say, technologies. And I can give you an example. Many people think that implementing nature-based solutions are a build-and-forget system. That's not true. And that's the reason why the first constructed wetlands failed miserably in Greece, like more than 50% failed, because people tend to think that they are maybe less energy intensive, they have multiple co-benefits, but they need proper engineering and they need maintenance. So if these two things are not respected, they won't go well. And my view on this is not, yes, nature-based solutions have multiple co-benefits, but they are not the solutions to all of our problems.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Any other question? Francesco, usual suspect now, and co-chair, of course.
Simos, you mentioned about financing nature-based solution. Well, when we talk about wastewater treatment, typically it's part of the water tariff. When we talk about urban drainage and in general, large nature-based solution, we are always saying that we must have public funding, because having private funding for nature-based solution is quite complicated. So according to your experience, and now it's not only Cardiman, you are in the field quite an authority now, I would say. So do you think that the private investors are starting to be interested in getting some interest, and how? Otherwise, if we always stay on the public funding, well, we do a lot of demos, but still the large infrastructure are not there.
Yes. So I would say industries, for example, are interested in investing in these solutions if it solves the problems they have and it has a short payback period. If it doesn't meet these two criteria, they are simply not interested. But I have to say that from my experience, there are cases that this is happening. For example, in Cardiman, I didn't have the time to show one of the 9 case studies in industrial site that is basically, they are expanding it now. And it's a big industry with aluminium and iron. And they are using the biofiltration systems in order to treat the rainwater, but also the wastewater, and use it in the not in the industrial process itself, but as a supplementary water to water the trucks for the green, etc. So there, it's a good example that the industry itself is interested. But generally, I would say that they're quite skeptic of, and the main bottleneck still is the land, the footprint itself. Because when you work in a private sector, land is becoming quite, not only in private sector, but many times the land is, very important for the industries.
Thank you so much. With that, I would, and conscious of time, I would like to call our last speaker for this session, which is coordinating. So Teresa Oltra Benavent, she's coordinating the project Live Turbines, which is about electricity generation from dissipated energy in urban drinking water networks. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you to you for the invitation. Today I'm going to talk about Live Turbine projects, where Aguas de Valencia is the consumption leader. But first of all, I want to make a brief description of the Global Omnium Group, where Aguas de Valencia is the head company. We have a referent in national and international reference. We are with more than 130 years of experience. We are present in more than 400 municipalities, supplying more than 5 million of people. And today we manage more than 20 drinking water treatment plants. And thanks to this experience, we can lead projects like Live Turbine. The start of the presentation, I would like to start with a fact, is that 7% of world energy is using for supply drinking water. Despite this, the control of pressure in this network are doing by devices that dissipate the excess of energy without further application. The excess of pressure in drinking water supply network are very common due to variation on the demand or topography. This graph corresponds to the supply to the city of Valencia, and in it we can see very clear why we need to regulate this pressure. The blue line is the consumption. It has 3 peaks, the first one at the first hours of the day, the second around the lunchtime, and the third peak is at the last hours of the day. The red line will be the pressure if the control elements aren't existed. It happens during the peak of hours in the lower areas. We have an excessive pressure and it produces leaks and breaks. For this reason, we introduce control reducing valves. But when I said before, they dissipate the excess of energy, but with further application. And it's a pity because today we can implement turbines or pumps for gas turbines that they can do both things. Dissipate the excess of energy and also use this excess of energy to produce electricity. And this is the concept behind Live Turbines project. The objective is the contribution to the decarbonization of drinking water supplies through the implementation of energy recovery stations using turbines. We are implementing 13 case studies, 12 in Spain and 1 in Italy. The case studies in Spain are located in Tortosa, Catalonia, when we use the energy for filtered and refrigerated fountain. In Valencia, we are implementing 10 case studies. The energy will be used for the self-consumption in the network and also for the feed fountains. And another pilot in Spain is in metropolitan area of Valencia, and we will use the energy for charging electrical vehicles. And the last one is in Scansano, that we will create an energy community to feed some local business. All the pilots follow the same pattern. We install the turbine in a bypass configuration in a parallel to the main pipe, and the goal is pass the maximum amount of flow through that turbine line in order to produce the maximum amount of energy. This slide shows how working the pilots. The first step, we have manual mode, is the valve in the main pipe and open or close according to the demand, and then we activated the turbine, so we close the valve in the main pipe and open the valve after turbine. When we have an automatic mode of operation, we can have 2 scenarios. The first one is when the pressure is lower than the target pressure. If it happens, we open the valve after the turbine, and if the pressure continues lower, we open the valve in the main pipe. We can have the opposite scenario when the actual pressure is higher than the target pressure. If it happens, we close the valve in the main pipe, and if the pressure continues higher, we close the valve after turbine. To follow these patterns, we develop an algorithm that we introduce in the PLC, and they reproduce these patterns, and allow each pilot can work automatically. Another key aspect in this project is the development of the support tool. This support tool has 2 modules. The first one is for sizing the turbines, and the second one is for choose the most profitable mode of operation. The objective of this development is make easier the decision-making process when the water manager want to implement this solution in their networks, and also increase the replicability of these solutions. To sum up, we expect to produce around 1 gigawatt per year, and also to reduce the CO2 emissions in more than 250 tons. And it is all. If you have any question, this is the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Simos, you want to take? Simos, would you like to take?
Thank you very much. Any questions? No? Okay. In hydropower, I have a more general question, let's say, about I remember I was in an event in Water Europe in Brussels, and they put a slide on the different types of energy producer and how much is the water footprint of each technology. And the hydropower was one of the biggest ones because of the water evaporation, let's say. So how is there like reply to this, that because it's producing a lot of energy, but it's also losing a lot of water in the process?
I think it is more related with the hydraulic energy that is related with the dam, but here we are introducing in the urban networks, and is the opposite side. We increase the hydraulic efficiency because we introduce these technologies normally in the inlet of the sector, so we reduce the pressure, and the flow in a leak is proportional to the pressure. So this solution in this case increase the hydraulic efficiency too.
So this way you are basically decreasing also the energy.
What? Sorry?
The way it works, you're also saving energy.
Save energy. No, the pilot. The question is if we save energy.
The turbine, how the way it works.
Okay, there are two types of pilots. We are pilots that works off-grid. We have batteries and we store the energy that produce. And there are also types of pilots. For example, the pilot in the Valencia metropolitan area is connected to the grid because the excess of energy or the surplus, we need to have a connection to the electrical grid.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have a question, Francesco? Of course.
Just to clarify, your two case studies, they have different scales, right?
Yes.
The one in Tuscany. And did you estimate the return of investment for the two? And what is your prediction for the best value in terms of scale?
Okay. Recently, we started the inverse return, the ROE. I don't say in English, I think it's that. And it is true, for example, in the small turbines, more or less the produce 7 kilowatts, the return is not positive but you have another environmental benefits. But when the turbine produces more than 7 kilowatts per energy, you have an economical benefit.
Okay, I think, yeah.
That's a question. Okay, in fact, I'll go the other way around the discussion I had before, for moving from micro to meso level. Understand now that your concept and your ideas and your technologies is mainly targeted to the meso level, to a city level. That's correct. So my question is, where is relevant, if it is relevant, to go to an industrial level, for example, and apply all these technologies just to support the energy supply for industrial level, and to go, for example, through phasing out all the fossil fuels in an industry.
Your question is, I think,
if it is relevant also, apart from a city level, to go to a specific industry and apply this and provide energy.
Yes, I think maybe in this option is can adapt or can apply, for example, in wastewater. But it is true that we use pumps work as turbines, and we use for drinking water pumps. Maybe we can use in another areas the technology cannot the same, or the pump can be adapted to the type of water or liquids.
Thank you so much. I actually have been we have cooperatively, let's share the guilt, very bad time managers, but we have done, I think it was very good session of presentations, and I would like to give you all an applause, first of all, to start with. Please join and applaud yourself. This is amazing work. Now, I'm going to be brief so I can buy some time and Francesco doesn't fire me as a moderator. Quickly, I would like to make two ways of conclusions. One, which is personal, and the one a little bit more institutional. Now, from the personal part, I would say that there was a number of keywords that popped up in my mind while I heard those beautiful presentations, solutions. So there was human, there was cooperation. I heard circularity, and professor next to me was talking about circularity, and the first thing that comes to my mind is my body, is nature. So therefore, nature-based solutions, but also innovation, digitalization, health, sustainability. So in this fora, not talking about sustainability is impossible, but also is impossible to talk about any of those keywords that I just mentioned without talking about sustainability. You see, it's circular again. And then another, and some other keywords that came in my mind, it was beauty, it was hope, and it was life. So thank you for working. I feel really like happy. I am fulfilled about working in this wonderful sector that is connected to all of that. And thank you all for putting so much passion into what you're doing. And now I'm putting the Water Europe hat and saying, hey guys, there is a water resilience strategy out there. All of what you are working in it is the key to link and to make those local solutions more, let's say, take a next level, working together with the member states, as somebody else was saying earlier, and with all the relevant stakeholders at all levels to make this change happen, because we need it. Water, it's limited. All of that it's because without water, there is no life, actually, in the planet. So let's work together on that. And with that, I would like to invite Francesco, the heart of this session, the many, to add some words. And thank you with that.
From my side, many thanks. I am the head of Ecomondo now, to all the coordinators that are here. Typically, as a scientific committee, we struggle to get the room full for international events. When you talk about commercial issues, the room is full, but it's normal. It's important here to have the symbiosis and the osmosis. So being here is more and more important, and we will try our best to convey this message, and also what was discussed here through Ecomondo to the Commission at the member state level. I definitely agree what you mentioned. Typically, we are doing policy papers for the European Commission, and then nothing or very little is happening at the national or regional level. Being here means connecting regions, nation, and Europe. So we will try to write 2 pages of conclusions after this, and to disseminate this through a Ecomondo channel, that I think can be very relevant to leave something to build on even for next year. And thank you. Sorry, Simos. The last word is for Simos always. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesco, and thanks a lot for the invitation. If you ask me what this session has showed is that, and also in other sessions that I see, is that we have the technology available. I'm talking about the digital part, the nature-based solutions, the grey infrastructure. We have the technical expertise to tackle the challenges that we have in the water sector. And many of the things that the water resilience strategy says, we have the technological development there. But we need to have the people, we need to have the infrastructure, and we need to have the money. So these 3 aspects need to work together to make things happen.
There's no final song, I'm sorry.
Very nice. Thank you, Claudia.
I will see you in Brussels next December, right? Will you be in December? You come in December at the Water Europe?
But greetings, Joanna, and of course,
Yes. of course, with pleasure.